making another observation. This kind of goes with my Pop Century review video about the buses. Sorry, this is not an advantage. Okay, I don't care that there's one bus stop and dedicated buses. We're basically standing in a big line like a herd of cattle, like you do at the end of the night at a park. At the moderates and the deluxes, you are standing under a nice shelter with park benches, and you have very few people there with you because it's only the people that are from your little section of the resort. I would much rather do that. We're standing here in the baking sun right now with a whole bunch of people. This is not better. I'm not going to say the value again. This is not worth it to me. Hi there. Okay. I can't get it without the climate control. There we go. Hi, it's Heather from Heather Travels. The first part of this video that you saw was me filming outside in the bus line at Pop Century Resort because I wanted to kind of show you what the bus line and waiting for the bus in the morning is like. Okay, so this video, if you notice the title, is why I don't want to stay at a value resort again. Now, the first thing you should do is watch my video review of Pop Century. I'm pretty brutal, and I say a lot of things that other people have not said in all the glowing reviews of Pop Century out there. Now, I haven't been to any of the other value resorts, so as far as I know, what other people have said, which is that Pop Century is probably the best value resort, could be true. I don't know. I haven't been to any of the other value resorts, so I don't know. But, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still nice. It's a nice room. It's nicely done. You still get the same customer, well, sort of, you still get the same customer service. And I'm going to talk about that. But I guess, let me put it this way. If what you're used to is staying at Motel 6 and Super 8 and Econo Lodge, you'll think this is fantastic. Okay? If you're used to staying at Hilton's and Marriott's like we do, you won't think this is as great. And I'm going to go back to just a few things and a couple other things that I thought of why I especially would not recommend this for families, especially families with young kids, okay? Or anybody over a group of two. One person or two people in these rooms, fine. Anything more than that, I would not recommend it. Okay, here's a couple things. First of all, going back to that bus thing. So I want to talk a little bit more about that. When you get on the buses here, one of the supposed advantages is that you have one single bus stop and you have a dedicated bus from the parks, okay? You don't share your bus with any other resort. That is kind of nice because you know you're not stopping at other resorts to pick people up and drop people off. That does save some time. That is kind of nice. However, I don't feel that single bus pickup, the way they have it set up out here, is an advantage. And here's why. They've got benches sitting out there. But unless you stand up, and the benches are under shade and under cover, but unless you stand up and get in the line, which is like, you know, the chains going back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth, a whole bunch of people are going to get in line ahead of you. And when that next bus comes, you might not get on it because there's so many people lined up out there to get on the bus. So basically, you have to be standing up, standing in that queue, waiting to get on the bus in the direct sunlight for up to 20 minutes or more, waiting for a bus to come. So that's more standing in the sun, it's being hot. I didn't like that at all, and it's just a lot of people. Comparatively, when I've stayed at a moderate resort or a deluxe resort, all of the bus stops, because they have, well, deluxe resorts also have a singular bus stop out front by where, you know, the front entrance of the resort, by the main lobby. But it's a little, you know, it'll be a little set away from the main door, but it's under like a roof and it has lots of benches and it's very pleasant. And I think like anytime I was waiting to catch the bus at my deluxe when I stayed at Yacht Club, there's maybe like 5 people there with you. I mean, there's never very many. And that just speaks to the lower capacity of the deluxe resorts. There's just not as many people. And plus, deluxe resorts also have the advantage of location, which means that not as many people are even taking the buses anyway. Because, for example, if you're on a monorail line resort, you can take the monorail to Magic Kingdom or Epcot. And from Contemporary, you can walk to Magic Kingdom. If you're at Wilderness, you can take the boat to Magic Kingdom. If you're on one of the Crescent Lake resorts, you can walk or take a boat to both Epcot and Hollywood Studios. So there's going to be substantially less people taking the buses anyway. I mean, really, it only leaves Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom from the Crescent Lake resorts that you would need to take a bus to. And then if you're staying in Animal Kingdom Lodge, you'd have to take the buses everywhere. But still, the resorts themselves don't hold as many people as either the values or the moderates do. So then over at the moderates, yes, you have multiple bus stops around the resorts because they're so big and spread out. But again, it's only taking people from a certain, this section of the resort are only going to be waiting there at that bus stop. And those bus stops, again, are very nice. They're big and they're all covered and they have lots of benches. And in some cases, I think they even have pop machines or water machines or something where you can get a drink from while you're waiting. And so it was always very pleasant sitting there at the bus stop waiting for the bus to come at the moderates because it was nice and you're not standing in a queue in the direct sun waiting for a bus. We lucked out last time when I don't remember what it was like when we were at Caribbean Beach. I don't remember it being a problem. I remember always sitting down on the bus. And we were always sitting down on the bus at Port Orleans Riverside in the morning. And I think that's because where we were situated was, I know at Port Orleans Riverside, our stop was the first one on the route. So our stop, we were always the first ones to get on the bus and we went straight to the back and we sat down every day. And then that also meant we were the first ones to get dropped off at the end of the night. So even if we were standing when we came back from a park, we were the first ones off, so we didn't really care that much. So you can kind of research online or even call the resort and ask and find out where in the resort which way does the bus route go. So you can kind of pick your building or at least request it so that you can be on one of those first couple of bus stops and then, you should get a seat no problem. You're going to have to sit on the bus while they go around and pick everybody up, but I don't think that's that big a deal. So the bus stop thing, I don't like here at the values. And the second thing that I've noticed, and many people will tell you this, is, oh my gosh, the groups. It's just I guess, rowdier group of people, wouldn't you say, Meg? There are teenagers everywhere. So if you watched my series of videos on Megan's New Orleans trips, but I mean, it's not even like that because on Megan's New Orleans trip and the trips that my kids have taken on these music trips, they stay in nice hotels. Like this last one, they stayed at a Hilton Garden Inn. Last time when they went to Nashville, they stayed at Gaylord Palms. Andrew went on a cruise ship. They stayed at an Embassy Suites. I mean, they're staying at nice places. There are a whole bunch of marching bands here right now because we've seen them with their instruments and we've seen them marching. They were marching in the parade yesterday at Magic Kingdom. All those teenagers are staying here or at other value resorts. There's also a whole bunch of big groups of girls, maybe cheer teams or something. And these kids come at you in a giant mob walking down the sidewalk. And you can hear them from ages away. And every night when we come back, they're all sitting out here on the balcony hallway things, talking and they're loud. And you're not going to find that. Those groups are not going to stay at a moderate. They're not going to stay at a deluxe. So if you want to avoid groups like that, you don't want to stay at a value. When we got off the elevator last night, there was a big group of guys. Were they teenagers?
They were adults,
maybe like young 20s, but a big group of guys, and they were rough. And they were all chewing tobacco, and they spit it on the ground right in front of us as we were getting off the elevator. Yay.
And they had loud rock music blasting.
Yeah, loud rock music blasting. You're not going to find this at the anywhere but the values. So if you want to avoid that kind of crowd, especially if you have young kids that you're concerned about that kind of thing, you don't want to stay in a value. Okay, and then my third thing, and this is something I just thought of last night, and when I mentioned it to the kids, they had both thought of it too and were actually kind of sad. And I don't know if this is a value thing or if something has changed here at Disney. We're going to have to see next time we come, because next time we come, we're not staying at a value. They're not doing anything cute in the room with the kids' stuffies or towel animals or anything. And last time we were, and I'm going to put in some pictures if I can find them right here so you can see what I mean. Or if you go back and, go back and look at my video about views from it's all pictures from our Disney World 2015 vacation. I'll put it right there. Every night when we came back to the resort room at Port Orleans Riverside, and they probably did this at Yacht Club too, I don't remember, Mousekeeping had set up the kids' stuffed animals, and they'd use like my glasses or the book in the room, or they set them up all cute in adorable ways every night. And did they do fold down service too? Like where they fold the bed down and get it ready?
Yeah.
I think so. And one night we came back, one night they were all watching TV. The TV was on and they had the remote. It was so cute. And then one night we came back, they were all reading a book and one of the stuffies had glasses on. One night we came back and they were all lined up in the window like they were watching for us. That was so cute. And I guess I compare it more to like the kind of service you get from your stateroom attendant on a cruise ship. You know, every night when you come back to your stateroom on a cruise ship, they've done something cute and clever. You know, there's a towel animal monkey hanging from your ceiling. Or I just recently, Morgan from Very Unofficial Travel Guides posted a picture on Instagram, I think, about they came back and they had made their bed into like a big heart. You know, they do that cute kind of extra customer service stuff, and they are doing nothing like that here at the Values. And I'm leaving a tip every day. And I always leave a tip for housekeeping every day. And, you know, I kind of like to just space it out because you don't know if you're going to get the same housekeeper every day. And I don't want it to all go to one person if they're not doing the work every day. So, yeah, that's just that little touch, that personalization touch is not there. So that's kind of a bummer. And because that's part of that Disney experience, that Disney magic. And that's not even necessarily a Disney thing, because we got that on Royal Caribbean on our ship too. So it's just a level of service, I guess I would say, that we're not getting here. And then I'm going to go back for a second to my wood floor hatred and the tiny space in here. Okay, I'm going to show you this. Here's the fold down bed. And that's how much space there is. Megan and I cannot, look here, I'm walking. We cannot walk past each other here. We can't both fit walking past each other. I mean, I take up this whole space. So it's really tight. If you have kids, you know, if you're trying to stay in this room with two adults and two kids, or two adults and two kids and a baby and a pack and play. Okay, first of all, there's no room in here for a pack and play. I don't know where you put it. I don't know where that baby's supposed to go. There's not room between the beds. There's not room between the bed and the wall. They're gonna go in the bathroom. I mean, I don't even think there's room in there for a pack and play, honestly. There's no room for a pack and play. I guess you could put it here, Meg, where we have the suitcase and the chair. Right here. In this space, a pack and play would probably fit. But now, excuse me, where's that chair supposed to go? Because there's no other place for that chair. So the space in here is very limited. And another thing, if you have a stroller, there's no place to put a stroller. I don't know where you're supposed to put a stroller. Even folded up, I don't think there's room in here for a stroller. So just from a space point perspective, if you have small kids, I do not recommend the Values. There's not enough room in the room. And then that wood floor thing, I kind of inadvertently tested it this morning. I'm wearing my white Mickey socks, and I was walking around just a few times back and forth, putting in Ben's allergy eye drops. I walked to the bathroom and back to the bed. Then I walked over here and I walked back over there. The bottom of my socks are dirty. So you don't tell me that wood floor is cleaner because it's not. It's not. Yeah. So I hate the wood floors in hotels, and I really hope that trend stops and goes away because I don't like it. And I'm pretty sad because they've done all the Disney resorts that way now. And until they realize their mistake and put it back in carpet the way it's supposed to be in a hotel, sorry, I feel very strongly about this. I'm even trying to decide if I want to stay on site again if they're not going to have carpet in the room. I probably will just for the convenience of the transportation and stuff, but I don't like it. So those are my reasons. And if you haven't watched it already, make sure you watch my video about my Pop Century review for even more specific reasons why I don't care for the values. And that's why I'm not going to stay in a value resort at Walt Disney World again. Thank you folks for watching. Safe travels.
We can make a wildfire getaway.